What's going on, people? So this right here, this is the Nike Air Vapormax Flyknit 3. Nothing new. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen a good number of these in the past, and if you've been paying attention to this channel for long enough, then you've probably seen a good like 5 or so, something like that. Sounds about right. But unfortunately, now that they have the Vapormax 2020s, and I'm assuming the 21s will come around fairly soon, these right here are kind of just slowly going the way of the buffalo, and you're not going to be finding too many more of them in the near future, right? And that's the thing I was talking to Ryan Curtis about recently. He's one of the guys that originally he used to come in here in the comments and say some things once in a while, and he still does. But later on, he had started messaging me on Instagram, and he helps keep me in the loop on things that are coming around and whatnot, because I've said in the past that on my own, I do a very terrible job of keeping up with things. So people like him keep me informed. So thank you to you for that. I do appreciate it a whole lot. And we were talking about these and how since they're going away and we both are big fans of them, it's kind of the time to start keeping your eyes open and seeing where they are that are in your size and whatnot and picking those things up. You still got to try to find the deals because at 180 or 190, what does it look at the side of the box? 200, Jesus Christ. Okay, at $200, that's kind of expensive, right? So I still try to find the deals. Luckily, Hibbett came through for me. I think I ended up pulling these off for around, I'd say 130 to 150, which is respectable, right? Again, going for something that you like and something that's kind of not going to be around a whole lot longer. You don't want to take a whole lot of chances. So it was cheap enough for me, and I really like this colorway. I've liked it for a while, just never really saw a reason to pick it up, I guess, because I hadn't really thought things through. But that changed, and so here we are, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about these things real quick, shall we? So, of course, we'll just start with the bottom and all that. Down there, you've got the same Vapormax style midsole, outsole that you've seen in a lot of cases, right? Not just on this particular model either. And then, of course, down on the bottom, you do have some areas where it's a little more padded to kind of help give you a little extra protection, and I assume also for traction reasons. But it does seem to be extra durable, so if you're walking around in some uncertain territory, you shouldn't have to worry so much about the shoes popping. So that's a good deal, right? I mean, again, for the price, you kind of want to have something that you can rely on. And then past that, it's the broken down style that they have from the past, not like the 20s. The 20s have smaller bubbles, and I believe they're more connected, gives you a better feel. Can't say these are bad, it's just that's one of the differences between the older models and the newer ones. If you weren't aware, now you are. And so moving on past that though, onto the upper, a lot of this is stuff you've seen before, right? Because it's really just your standard Flyknit upper that they put on a lot of running shoes, right? It works. It gives you that sock-like feel, which is something that you want. And the stretchability is fantastic in my personal opinion. But let's talk about these in particular. Yeah. These specifically, whatever word I'm trying to say, just pretend I said it. So these right here, right? You got this kind of a grayish sort of silver sort of thing going on. Standard Flyknit, nothing spectacular, but it does feel very good on the feet, right? And then moving towards the middle area, what you have down there with those green lines is the Flywire sort of situation that they have. So when you tighten the laces, this whole thing will kind of help hold things in place so you can kind of tighten everything, right? Because again, you want a little extra security if you're going to be running. If you're just doing these for like casual wear or whatever, none of that really matters a whole lot, but you at least will know that you have an extra comfortable shoe because it's got these extra little running friendly tweaks involved, right? Moving on to the back, with the heel cups and all that stuff, I've had no problems with feeling like my heel was locked in when I'm running and stuff. So I think you'll be good with these, especially if you're just walking, right? You probably won't notice those extra improvements, but hey, they'll be there. They'll be there. And then at the top, it's just got that standard sock liner type of top where it's much like a sock, right? Which is the same thing you've seen on like the earlier Uncaged Ultra Boost and something else that I can't quite think the name of right now. But it's nothing new, right? Just know that it helps give you a little bit of extra comfort, in my opinion. Though some people might have some issues with the very back because of the types of socks you wear or whatever. This area might kind of dig into your heel just a little bit. but your mileage will vary with that. I don't have a problem, so I don't really complain. Moving around here though, and they've got the typical the typical stock laces that you would see on a lot of these things. Just your standard flat style, nothing too fancy. Then above that, got the tongue, some words thrown on there, something about air and Flyknit or whatever. But overall, just this particular shoe is one of my personal favorites. It didn't really win out on the performance review when I did these versus the Vapormax 19s, I want to say. I think it was the Vapormax 19s. Pretty sure. But anyways, they're still solid, don't get me wrong. If you're looking for a good running shoe, this is going to do it for you. There were just a few things that just kind of gave the edge to Adidas in that particular day. So go watch that review if you want those extra details, right? But past that, I'm not going to get too deep into like the overall upper of the shoe and all that because I feel like I've said enough, and it's an older shoe. People know what they're getting into, and really, you're not going to be finding a whole lot of these anymore anyway. So there's that for you. But here's the thing. Let's go ahead and talk about the sizing and all that stuff because that's important, I suppose. Now, I buy these in like a 9.5, right? Because that's like my size. Now, I will say personally, right, because things are kind of getting to the point where you may not always find your size. I find that going down is better for me, right? So if my size isn't available, I'll get a 9. For you, and that's because I like the snug fits, right? So for you, I don't know, you might want to try these on for yourself, or actually just try any other Vapormax. Personally, I feel that they very much fit the same. So if you see a pair of these, but like your store only has 20s or whatever, just go try on the 20s and it'll be pretty close, right? So there's that as far as the sizing. And then as far as the comfort goes, one of the things is that these can take a little while to break in because something about the way this Vapormax thing is done, it just takes a little while, right? Partly because the way the bubbles are done compared to like the newer ones. But if you wear them straight for like a week or two, whatever, then you'll start to see like how comfortable they can be. Right out of the box, don't get me wrong, I've got no complaints. It's just that they get better, right? You just got to give them some time to get to that point, you know? But past that, I don't really know what all else there is to really say about these. So I suppose we can just go ahead and start getting the video wrapped up and all that good stuff. So there we go. All right, here's the thing again. I really like these. I'm probably going to see if I can find another pair or two before things start to really dry up or whatever, because there are some other colors out there that I do like. But we'll see how it goes. And again, thank you to old Ryan for helping me kind of remember that I need to do that, because otherwise I'd be looking on those other sites and stuff and hoping to find the sizes and the colors that I want. At least now I've kind of got a slight advantage. But for now, we're done. Have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I am going to go record this on foot and then knock out a live in about an hour. Maybe I'll see you there, maybe I won't. We'll find out together. Later, people.